The Arsenal agenda. Wax, how you doing, mate?
I'm very, very well, my guy. How you doing?
Cracking. Good to have you back in the building.
Yeah.
Plenty for us to be talking about. It's been 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
2 game weeks since we last recorded.
Yeah.
We've done Liverpool, 4-0 defeat. We're going to have to discuss that one, unfortunately. Newcastle win, and of course Manchester United fixtures to look forward to, plus plenty of transfer rumours. If you do have any questions for either of us, please do drop them in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. But for now, I'm looking at the team of the week.
Yeah.
It's got 2 Arsenal players in it. It's Bukayo Saka.
Jeez.
And Tomiyasu.
Oh, he's been playing well, isn't he?
I mean, okay, we'll kick things off with the Newcastle win before we go back.
Yeah.
If only because, let's start on a positive note. A very good response.
Yep.
Or at least another big 3 points that puts us 5 points ahead of Man United.
Yeah.
Going into Thursday's game
against Manchester United. Yeah.
I mean, first things first. Were you worried in the first half against Newcastle? Because we did look a little bit dodgy.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? I was a bit worried. I thought that was a bit slow, wasn't really getting the ball around quick enough, wasn't really pressing, was we? And after Newcastle's last game, where they had a 3-3 thriller, I thought, oh, this could be a game where Newcastle could get themselves in. And I was a bit skeptical, but yeah, man, we managed to make it happen, especially in the second half. Come out, Tavares looks pretty awesome in that second half.
About him yet, or?
I mean, I still got more to see of Tavares because we haven't seen him play the big teams, but he does look better than what I initially anticipated. Do you know what I mean?
I've got one thing with him, right? He keeps shooting.
Yeah.
He's shooting too much.
Too much. And I know he scored that tremendous goal in the pre-season, which was like Aubameyang-esque, but it's just not working for him, is it? And then I think what lets him down is his decision-making, the fact that he doesn't really look up as much. That's why he's just going for goal, because he's just not trying to look up and find a player. Yeah,
he's gassed as well, blatantly. He's just gassed to be an Arsenal player.
Yeah, exactly.
Showing the world what he can do.
But he has looked good, like physically. One thing I do like about Tavares is that he doesn't give up.
Right.
He keeps running. He's not letting any errors affect his attitude. Now, we would have assumed coming out of that Liverpool game that he might not have been as up for it because of people might have got to him online, possibly. You know what the Arsenal fans are like. But no, I know Mikel Arteta.
You might have been listening to the last podcast.
But I know Mikel Arteta did say that now in training and after that Liverpool game, he's just kind of just been more determined to make things work. And
so what is this situation then with him against Tierney going into Thursday? Because obviously United, it's a bigger game.
Yep.
You may well want to lean on your more experienced heads for something like that. But he's won a lot of fans over the last couple of games.
He has. I don't know what it is. I like Kieran Tierney. I think for this game, Tierney with the experience, the understanding of what that game means to us as a club, I would go with Tierney. But for some reason, I feel like Mikel Arteta is going to go with Tavares again. Okay,
so obviously the first half against Newcastle it put doubts in my head as to what we're doing again.
Yep.
That save that Ramsdale pulled off from John Joe Shelby's.
What a shot, firstly. The shot was worldly. That was a proper world-class shot, and I expected it to go in. But the way Ramsdale just come out of the air, the reflexes to make that save was incredible.
Top save. However, second half, we looked a lot more lively.
Yeah.
A little bit hungrier. They've obviously had some, talking to from Mikel Arteta. Given the fact that we've just come off the back of a 4-0 defeat to Liverpool.
Yeah.
And we are 5th in the table. Where are you standing on Arteta right now? Because, in general, results have been good.
Yeah, the football hasn't been great, but the results...
The football's not great. The main thing that people keep pointing to is the attacking threat. The style going forward. We look a little bit out of sorts. There's no real cohesion there.
Yeah.
It's definitely a defensive unit there.
One thing I want to put out there about this defensive unit is if we take ourselves back to when Mikel Arteta first came, there was a major change defensively to what we were seeing under Unai Emery. And them times there, we had Mustafi, David Luiz, whoever that was there. Yeah. So I believe Mikel Arteta defensively understands how to structure the team, how to put them together. And again, because we saw that when he initially came. My question is how comes within that space of 2 years, he hasn't been able to get the attack or the transition into the attack the way it needs to be? Do you know what I mean? And that's my ultimate question.
Yeah, it is actually. Yesterday is 2 years since we got rid of Emery.
Yep.
So again, you would think that we would have got further down the line with this, or at least we should have some more sense of the attacking identity.
Yes.
However, what's been happening recently, especially with Aubameyang's lack of goals / awful form, is you got people in two minds. Is Aubameyang done? Is he finished? Is he too old, tired? Did he just sign the contract and we should have got rid of him then?
Yeah.
Or is he lacking service and playing in a side, being asked to do things which he's never really been asked to do before?
Yeah, exactly. And I think it is the latter.
Okay.
I don't think he's finished. I think if he was playing with a team like Man City, for example, that have got players around him that can provide him that service, he'll be scoring goals for fun. But I don't know. I feel like at Arsenal, we don't have those service providers. A lot of our players seem to they want to go for goal instead of find the player, especially when we're getting into those final moments. ESR, I know he does little 1-2s and so on and so forth. Even Saka, they seem to me like they rather just go for goal than pick out Aubameyang. And it's like Aubameyang's just picking up scraps. He's not really being provided with anything.
Is that them maybe subconsciously losing faith in him?
Losing faith in Aubameyang.
Yeah, he's a captain, and sometimes his body language isn't the best. Strutting around, missing open goals from 3 yards out.
Yeah,
maybe I'm taking this one myself next time.
Yeah,
Saka has basically carried the club on his back for a hot minute now.
He was frustrated the other day when Aubameyang missed that chance. He was like, he hit the floor. He was like, "What is this?" Do you know what I mean? You could tell, but I don't know. I don't think they've lost faith in Aubameyang. I just think for me, it's just the way they're being asked to play. A lot of our balls are coming in off the flanks. We're using the width more. We're not using those central areas or trying to pick out passes through the central areas where that's where Aubameyang's sweet spot is, to be fair. He likes to kind of, of course he can get into those low crosses, but I don't know. It's what I've been saying recently is this team that Mikel Arteta has been developing, it's not built for Aubameyang. Right. It's built for a target type man striker that can link up play, bring others into play.
Who is that?
I mean, out of the players we've got, it's Lacazette, isn't it?
Out of the ones that are out there. Because there's a name that's popping up. I'm getting alarm bells ringing as soon as you're listing off those things. He is perfectly suited for Arsenal Football Club.
If I'm correct, is it Vlahovic? Yes.
Fiorentina.
Yeah,
he's a kid, man. Can we get that done, or am I dreaming?
Well, according to the reports, we're dreaming.
Okay, forget it. I'm not going to do it.
Because basically, he's an incredible player, and his stats for this season clearly show what level he's at. I think he's on double figures already.
Right.
And he's definitely working his socks off to a point where he can find goals for himself. And that's the difference between him and Aubameyang. Aubameyang needs service. He can't really find goals for himself. Like Aguero could find a goal for himself. He didn't need to be provided that opportunity for a pass or whatnot. He can just pick up the ball, know what he wants to do with it and get it done. That's one thing Aubameyang's lacking. I've always said that Aubameyang is the cherry on top of the cake.
Right.
And if we haven't got the full cake yet, then there's no point having the cherry.
Well, look, we may not have the full cake or the cherries, but we've got assortments of decoration here in things like Martinelli coming off the bench.
Oh,
his link up for that goal,
incredible.
With Tomiyasu, not only showed there's a little bit of a connection there, but his hunger, willingness to get there, touch of an angel, beautiful finish.
100%.
What has he got to do to get more game time? Because there's a player in there.
Exactly. And this is what I'm always saying, that Martinelli has been qualified. I think even under Unai Emery, he played 26 games, got himself 11 goals as a striker, and that was his first real season in English football. So that proved there that he's got something to add to the team. I just think that what's kind of let him down over the past, say, 12 months is injuries.
Okay.
He's had injuries, and I think Mikel Arteta just don't want to risk it, and that's what's kind of maybe like prevented him from getting into the team. I think Mikel Arteta just wants to kind of slowly build him up, build his confidence back up, and then slowly build his minutes up. And I think after that goal that we saw the other day, which was a worldly goal, it's like one of the best goals. That's Arsenal's goal of the season so far.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Probably is, isn't it? So, you know, after that, I think that's going to give Mikel Arteta a bit more confidence and encourage him a bit more to actually start playing him. The rumours are saying that he could actually start against Manchester United on Thursday. So,
okay, well, that's a huge call.
Yeah.
This is a player, let's not forget, who was trialling at Manchester United.
Yeah.
They let him go. He's going to have that little bit of fire in his belly. Maybe there's something there. But then again, I'm always in two minds, because if we are sitting here contemplating Aubameyang lacking service and that being the issue, that's not reason enough to get or to push him to the side.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about strikers who bring people into play. We've got one in Lacazette.
Yeah.
Should we be playing them together?
I think they play better together, but I don't know. It's just mad with Lacazette and Aubameyang, because we've seen so many times where it hasn't worked.
I know.
But then we've seen moments where it has worked.
And we are coming to the end. Let's not forget, Lacazette, 1st of January, can sign pre-contractual agreements with foreign clubs.
Yep.
We're looking at a guy whose head is not going to be in the right space in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
His agent might even be talking to people now.
Yeah,
So
that's what I believe.
I'm worried that, you know, there's going to be a little bit of a lack of presence.
Yeah.
Someone who can bring other people into play, because Aubameyang at times really does lack that.
Yeah. And I mean, that could be playing on Aubameyang's head as well. The fact that Lacazette, he already knows that Lacazette's on the verge of just saying, see you later, Tata, I'm gone. And it's like, okay, I'm the only real experienced one here. These guys are just like overwhelming for me, and I'm just not with it. Do you know what I mean? But then again, people were saying, look, when he signed that contract, you know, he only signed the contract for the money. You know, maybe he doesn't believe in what's going on. And because he doesn't believe in it, because he doesn't believe in the style or the way Arsenal are attacking at the moment, he's just letting himself down. And it's like, as a striker anyway, when you're not getting the service as much as you're used to getting the service, you will buckle under the pressure, and you lack those composure.
I'm not gonna lie, man. There's a little bit of me which is like, we are really making excuses for this guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, he's scored 4 goals in 12 Premier League games.
It's not good enough.
I'm seeing him miss chances which I could score.
Yeah.
And I say that with fucking confidence.
Yeah, literally.
I'm questioning, you know, even back to the Watford game. I don't know if you remember, but he genuinely robbed a goal off Odegaard.
Yeah.
He was so desperate to score.
Exactly. But you know what it is? He's so used to scoring those type of goals. If you go and look back at most of the goals he's scored in his history, he's there, the last man getting those tap-ins, ball comes across into the 6-yard box and he gets them. Do you know what I mean? And that's why he just kind of, and again, where they're not getting as many opportunities as they used to get, desperate. He wants to get it.
There is a bit of that there.
Yeah.
Listen, Arteta's got a big decision on his hands as to who he plays against United. If only because we're looking at a striker in Aubameyang who's had, his first 2 full seasons, he got over 20 goals for the club.
It's weird though. That's another thing that's questionable. Unai Emery, Golden Boot. Arsene Wenger done very, very well. Come to Arteta, and he's just disappeared. He got 15 goals, second half of Unai Emery's time.
It's after the contract, bro.
It is, isn't it?
He signed the contract and he's gone AWOL.
It's really weird.
Anyway, another player who has gone AWOL and is going to be causing Mikel Arteta more selection decision problems is, I guess no, he actually isn't. He's not causing him any problems whatsoever. Pepe is sat on the bench and rusting away, disappearing into the fog.
Literally.
I'm starting to think that when Arteta was asked in a press conference, would you be up for entertaining offers?
Yeah.
And he said no. I'm starting to think that might have been just a sort of, the standard answer that he has to give.
That's one thing about Arteta. He's not really transparent, is he? He's just kind of really
He's very
blunt.
good at the. I mean, I've got to say,
he's been trained well.
Yeah, he's remained very steadfast.
Yeah,
and he really could have played Pepe or at least brought him on.
Yeah, exactly. And I was thinking that as well. Against Newcastle, yeah.
It's like, if you want a player to come back into form, if you want goals, here they are. Haven't won a game all season.
He's just done with him. Maybe he watched that stream where I said Pepe's a championship player and he was like, you know what?
Someone sent me this compilation on Twitter.
Go on.
Pepe's first touches.
At Arsenal?
Bro, listen, it's this season. Look, man.
They've been poor, isn't it?
If I'm a manager, not like a fan, who I want him to work and I'll back him. If he has a loose touch or two, cool, because he's going to go past 2 or 3 in a minute. But if I'm a manager, let's say I'm Ralph Rangnick, dropping in, ready to, chop heads off.
Yeah.
There's no one is actually going to get away with not putting in 100% effort or showing me that you are the man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm studying his video analysis, bro, and sorry, bro, you're not getting in the team right now.
Yeah.
Saka is streets ahead of him. It's frightening.
Yeah.
Left side, right side, through the middle. He could play up top.
Yeah, literally.
What are we going to do here? And how do we get him back in? Because January's just around the corner, mate. And Newcastle, they got money to splash.
Yeah. I think Mikel Arteta's kind of done with Pepe. I think, you know what? If you look at how Mikel Arteta wants his players, he wants them to work as a team. And one thing that Pepe doesn't really offer the team is that team effort. Trying to work as a team. He comes across more or less like a more of a selfish player. Do you know what I mean? He might do that little pass back, pass sideways to get himself out of trouble. But other than that, if he runs and drives at a defender, his focus ain't to look up and see who's in a position where he can pass and maybe keep play ticking. He's more or less just switching to his left foot and going for a shot. And it's just like, that could have led to something else, but you didn't use your initiative, and now it's just led to the opposition having a goal kick.
Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, right? I need to see where people are actually at with the guy, because look, he's a flashy new toy.
Yeah.
It's our club record signing. And unfortunately, not everything works out. Maybe it is just something we just got to accept. However,
I said it before though, his first touch, his ball control, it's a letdown, man. And that's what's letting him down right now. It's been letting him down. But again, that could come with confidence, he's a professional player.
He's not getting a minute. He didn't get a minute.
I know.
Like the cheeky, go on then, have a little couple of minutes.
Exactly.
Just to make you feel like you're part of this win.
Especially when you're 2-0 up. You're 2-0 up. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, bring him on, 5 minutes. Do what you did with Martinelli previously.
Newcastle haven't scored a goal against us at the Emirates for like 5 years.
Like, in my opinion, it would have been a game I would have started Pepe in. You're playing a team that's at the bottom of the league, hasn't won a game all season. This should be a game, Pepe, where you go out there and demonstrate your worth.
You know what you said before, that's what's ringing true to me at the moment though. If it's more important to build a team around the system than it is an individual, he doesn't fit in.
He doesn't fit him. Yeah.
Like, if you think about what he's offering from the right hand side, it's cutting back.
Yeah, that's it.
Even on the angles of your crosses, that's not super effective. Bro.
No.
We need a right footer.
Yeah.
Tomiasu's crosses are more effective right now.
Exactly.
I mean,
Pepe just doesn't fit in. And this could go back down to what Raul done. Unai Emery didn't want Pepe. He wanted Zaha, and he was given Pepe. He fought Pepe. One statement that Unai Emery put out there was, I wanted someone that was ready now. And he said that watching Pepe, he didn't think Pepe was ready. If you go back to when we signed Pepe, there was, I think Bayern Munich had a slight interest in Pepe. They didn't take him because of his technical ability.
Yeah, I remember reading that article. Yeah.
So that technical ability is ball control, first touch, all of that.
That's mad, man, that you said that, because I literally remember reading that as a builder.
Yeah.
That's it's really disappointing.
Yeah.
However, another huge game, and you know the way that football works, he might well just make a little appearance against United. Latecomers. One person who's not going to be there for United game is Ralph Rangnick. It is going to be Michael Carrick.
He's not going to make it.
Apparently, he got in later than 4 a.m.
Okay.
On Tuesday, and as a result, he's going to have to, what do they call it? Just quarantine, or whatever. You go on your own for a little bit so that you're safe and whatnot.
But he probably will have some type of influence on.
I think he already has, man.
Because he's probably going to pick up the phone.
Did you watch the United game? Who were they playing? Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it, but I heard Chelsea were dominating the game.
They dominated the game, except from the get go. I'm seeing United players pressing like I've never seen.
Wow.
I haven't seen this all season, bro. Benched Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, I see that. Surprising.
Are you trying to tell me that Michael Carrick is benching Cristiano? Because if
crazy.
that's the case, then he's a brave man.
Brave.
I've got a feeling that Ralph is calling the shots already. He's made the call and he's been like, listen, I'm a squad man. My system needs to be working. This Don needs to learn a lesson. Which is wild.
Yeah.
Because it's Cristiano.
Exactly. And he has been scoring this season
and to me,
as well.
right, you should be able to fit a player like that into your system.
Yeah, 100%.
Or you rejig the system to fit him in.
Yeah, exactly.
But huge game, man. If we win, we go 8 points clear of Manchester United. And we are already level with 4th on points. Now, I know that going forward, statistically, it's not easy on the eye.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But fact of the matter is, so far, we're fucking 5th, mate.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, that is far exceeding my expectations.
Yeah.
Let's not jump out the Premier because it's early doors and it's very close.
Of course.
But a win against United, that's a gap.
That is a gap, yeah.
And honestly, that's got to be exciting, really. So what have we got to do to make sure that we can get 3 points against United? Because what we've seen so far is we're in with a shout of getting something here.
Yeah. So there's 2 things that Mikel Arteta's got this team doing right now. Making it difficult to beat, and everybody needs to work hard. And they're 2 key things into actually taking it to the big teams if we are to be real. Do you know what I mean? And again, taking us back to the Pepes, the Aubameyangs, that's why they're not working. Because they're not working as hard as what they need to be working as well.
You know what though, with Aubameyang, right, I can see him running around like a blue-arsed blow. I can see that he is sort of, it's almost like that's the only thing I can sort of commend him on. He is running. But does that mean he's like, he doesn't buy into the system fully then, or like there's got to be more to your game than just running around.
Yeah.
That can't be it. Anyway, I've got transfer rumours galore to go through. I know you love January transfer window.
Yeah.
The first one that we're going to touch upon is centre-back Pablo Mari.
Yes, unhappy.
Unhappy, not getting game time. And he has said before that he wanted to stay at Arsenal for a long time. But it's looking like a short-term stay. It's a pit stop, really.
Yeah.
Flamengo
Previous
coming in.
team, yeah.
Is he going to go back?
Probably. I mean, a lot of people always say that the guys that are playing over in Brazil are European flops. And there's a lot of them over there, to be fair. They've tried in Europe, hasn't worked, but they've gone over to Brazil and they've been comfortable and they're doing their thing. Pablo Mari being one of them. He was at Man City at one point, do you know what I mean? And brought in by Pep Guardiola, didn't work out, three different loans, and then he found himself at Flamengo and he done pretty well. He won like 2 free cups whilst he was there in the space of a year.
Was it Club World Cup final as well?
Yeah, they played Liverpool, didn't it? And he only lost 1-0.
That was the first time I'd seen him play, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I had checked him out, and when we signed him, I kind of knew he just wasn't the guy. I just knew he wasn't the guy, and it made me feel like Mikel Arteta just brought him in because he remembers him from the Man City setup and thought, all right, cool, this guy can play the ball out from the back, which is what I'm trying to do here, so maybe it can work. But when you look at the physicality side of him and a bit of his mental as well, I just knew he weren't cutting it. You know, he reads the game well. Like, he anticipates players' movements and when balls are being sent over. But it's like he lacks a conviction in trying to prevent play from happening. He seems like someone that does get lost in the game. You know, he's lacks a lot of concentration, and I think that lets him down. And then obviously his physicality, obviously he's tall, get up for headers and stuff. But when it comes to running, the guy is slow. He's probably like the slowest defender in the league.
He was massively exposed against Chelsea.
Yeah.
I turned up at the Emirates with my brother, who isn't a massive football fan, and I was hoping to sort of get him on board, you know. And within 8 minutes or whatever it was, Lukaku had tapped home 1-0, and Pablo Mari, he just put him in a spliff the whole day. He was bullying him to the point where Mari tried to lash out and try and get extra physical with a crazy challenge from behind that just took Lukaku out without the ball.
Yeah, I remember.
And he just looked like, Mo, you're not really sure what you're doing, bro, are you?
That's it. That's the mentality, man.
More importantly, is this a big deal? Because Arsenal have got two centre backs who have kicked off really well this season in Gabriel and Ben White, who looks to be, making or solidifying that place right now, building a little bit of a partnership with him.
Yeah.
And also you got, let's say, Rob Holding, new trim, new lease of life.
Yes.
And
he looks good in his last game against Leeds as well. He was actually doing Ben White. It's like Ben White taught him how to run with the ball. Right. The guy was driving forward. I was like, Rob.
Now, we've also got waiting in the wings, hopefully, William Saliba.
That's the man.
Which makes Pablo Mari 5th in line. Is there any point in you hanging around?
No. Pablo Mari, he knows what time it is. He's probably had conversations with Mikel Arteta already. He's probably asked for game time. Mikel Arteta just probably shut it down and said, look, mate, I just don't think you're ready. And now it's just like, well, January's coming up. I need to make my move, It wouldn't be a loss to Arsenal Football Club. As you said, we've got backup. We've got defenders that will come in and, prove to be better than Pablo, in my opinion. So the best thing to do right now is just get him off the wage bill, man. We're paying him about 70k a week, I think. So take that away, give it to somebody else. Do you know what I mean? We're probably going to make about 3 million on him if we sell him. So
this is still my main issue with Edu. I need to see evidence of players being sold to actually judge you.
Yeah.
Because right now, it's just not looking good. We're more than capable of spending money. That is very evident.
But Richard Garlick, Richard Garlick, right?
The new Don.
Yeah, he has a part to play in that as well. I'm not too sure if you read his interview the other day, but he had an interview. And it's mad how all of the execs or all the people in the board are having interviews. I'm not seeing it with anyone else. But we've had
it's PR.
It's PR. It has to be, innit? Because we've had Edu, Mikel Arteta, Richard Garlick, and Josh. All four of them.
Let's talk about that. Talk to me about the Garlic. What did he say?
So basically, he was just trying to help people understand his role and what his job's to do at Arsenal. And he said that he's been working with Mikel Arteta, Edu, and Per Mertesacker in kind of shaping the transfers and making sure they're getting the players that they want. And he's basically the lawyer and the negotiator for the transfers. So he's the one that's put £50 million on the table for Ben White.
He's like the new
Dick Law.
Husfemi,
yeah.
Okay, right. And Dick Law.
Dick Law as well back in the day.
These are the dons that have frauded us out of titles over the last few years. So it's like, this is a big job.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, he was just basically trying to help people understand what his role is and how basically Arsenal are pulling in the same direction. They've got their targets. They know who they want to get. And his job's just to kind of solidify those targets.
And did you feel confident with what you heard from him?
Not really.
Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you confident with what you're hearing from the mouthpieces at Arsenal? Obviously, Josh Kroenkes did his interview recently.
I think his one has to be the most inspirational out of the four.
So you were feeling it, that one?
I was feeling it because I was trying to pick holes in that interview, and there was nothing that I could really pick out. It's like
really? I'll tell you what, mate.
You had a few, yeah?
I will quote.
Please break them down for me.
He said, we will keep throwing money at the problem, and eventually 1 + 1 will equal 3.
3, yeah. Maybe I was
what the fuck?
Maybe I had the wall put over my eyes for a minute.
I heard that and I was like, 1 + 1 is going to equal 3. At what stage? How?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, now you're saying it doesn't make sense.
In all honesty, he has definitely taken more of a sort of lead role in terms of being the face of KSE.
Yeah.
And we've been looking for more transparency. We want to hear from, owners. I'm always saying when I see, what's his name, Nasser Al-Khelaifi, doing these, he does 25-minute interviews and says, I want to win every title every year. I'm going to sign top players. All this stuff. And then they do it.
Yeah.
I want to buy into my guy like that.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this Billy Goat beard and I'm thinking, is he trying to pull the wool over my eyes?
You know what? It could be, isn't it? I mean, again, I think like I was going to say, he looked like it was very, very scripted. So he went in there knowing what the questions would be and had his answers already preempted. Do you know what I mean?
He speaks like this language of what I call hot air. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got all the right phrases.
Yeah.
You know, keywords.
Yeah.
Things like...
Again, he's been very trained, isn't he?
You know, there are positives that, regardless of whether you trust these guys or not, that we can buy into. But one thing is, what is the aim here? Because when he sat down and tried to convince us that Champions League football and returning to that and the Super League was a bad idea and all this, it's like he's starting to listen to fans.
Yeah.
But you know football well. How are we getting into the elite title challenging positions, which is where people want this club to be? So that is the likes of Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea. Is there another that I need to put in there?
We're not putting Man United in there.
I guess they're going to move into there, but I actually reckon that's going to be a much harder job than people think.
Yeah. I mean, they've got a good foundation though, haven't they? When I say foundation, I think they've got a good core of players that they can actually build around, like the Jadon Sanchos, Bruno Fernandes, and so on and so forth. They probably need to add a defensive midfielder, maybe they got Varane, you know what I mean? They've got players that you would think, yeah, you know what, maybe one or two little sprinkles and they're going to be doing something. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I kind of mean by the foundation. But
okay, let's count them as the fourth. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll say Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester United.
Yeah.
Can Arsenal get themselves into a position where they're competing with those teams? I know technically we're actually clear of United right now, but I'm talking about, well, I say that. When was the last time United won a trophy? Is it 4 years?
Yeah, they won under Jose Mourinho, innit? They won the Europa League and I think it was League Cup or FA Cup.
Is that 2018 or 2017?
That was 2017, I believe it was. So it's been a while.
Well, you know, United are in a similar position to Arsenal then, in that they need to return to the challenging positions.
Yeah.
Okay, for that to happen, is what Josh is saying enough?
From what from what I'm getting from the interview, it sounds like that's what they want. You know, they want to be competing. They want to be, you know, challenging for the title or whatever it may be, getting it back into the Champions League. But maybe it could just be for the finances. I don't know how they plan on getting there or what they're going to do in the meantime to get there, if you know what I mean. I don't know. It's a difficult one to really... Yeah, I really don't know, to be fair.
You trusted him. You trusted what he said, though, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I was, again, where he articulated himself very, very well, I just kind of fell into that trap of just being manipulated, possibly, but...
No, maybe, look, we've got no reason to not believe what he said until they prove otherwise.
Exactly.
And to be fair, they've been spending money.
Yeah. One thing we can say about KSE is that, because I know a lot of people go against KSE, but if we look at the Arsenal finances, so for example, from 2000 up until 2018, yeah, KSE were involved, but they had other shareholders in the business who they wanted rid of, yeah, like Usmanov, for example. Now, from 2000 to 2018, these Arsenal's average spend per season on transfers works out to be about 50 million. If we look at what's happened since they've become full owners up until now, the averages have increased by 50%.
Yeah, and the rest, yeah.
Do you understand? Yeah. So that kind of shows me that actually KSE do want to be elite. However, we just don't have the drivers of the bus to get us there. Do you know what I mean?
So we're spending loads of money, but not necessarily effectively.
Yeah.
Pepe being the key example.
Yeah, and it's just uneducated decisions being made, if you know what I mean, because no one really, like Vinay, Edu, Mikel Arteta, like at this moment in time with the inexperience, they all fall under that same bracket, inexperience. So how can we expect Vinay, as example, being the chief executive, having a clear understanding of how to help build a successful club when you're inexperienced? You might be great in a corporate world, generating revenue, but what about the footballing side of the game? Okay,
we'll look at the footballing side for a second. Arteta is at the helm, and you know we've been saying he's been picking up points. Maybe we could do with a little bit more of an identity, but there's definitely a wave of positivity building.
Yeah,
especially given the league position.
Yeah.
Do you think that we've progressed under Arteta, and what is going to be a successful season or progress? Like, is it Champions League qualification? Now that we're in this position, do you think, right, if you don't get top 4, that's it, I'm done? Or what are we doing, leveling the expectations?
Yeah, I know, like, based on a lot of people's opinions, is top 6 is where we're at.
Okay.
Wanting to get that top 6 spot. If we get top 6, progress. I kind of disagree with it, because I feel like top 4 is what we should be aiming for. Right. You know, regardless of the other teams that we've got. I know it's very competitive at this moment in time, but top 4 is where we should be aiming for. If we go back to Unai Emery, he just missed out on it in his first season, you know, with some would say was a weaker team. Would you actually say Unai Emery had a weaker team than what Mikel Arteta'S got now?
Did Unai Emery have Mkhitaryan,
Yep.
Ramsey,
Yep.
Ozil?
Yep.
I mean, attacking wise, we are creative as fuck with that team, man.
Yeah, exactly.
On paper, anyway.
I remember under Unai Emery, we tore up Bayern Munich like differently.
Honestly, I think that's part of the problem with Arteta. Like, you see the way he's like shoehorned Odegaard in. It's like Odegaard's not really playing that much. We're not really always using a system where we're going to have him in there. Mm-hmm. He definitely doesn't have the ability to control a game like Ozil did.
No.
And honestly, man, I really think that in terms of midfielders, we just lack like someone with the ability to have composure, or, you know,
the vision,
consistently build the attacks, or the vision.
Yeah, the mentality, isn't it? It's like when people say that Unai Emery had a worse team, I have to agree to disagree to a certain extent, because it's like when you're dealing with Mkhitaryan's, Ozil's, Aaron Ramsey, it's like with that attack, you should be
like the front half. There's no way this team is better than that team.
No way.
Listen, Arsenal have reportedly emerged as one of the front runners to complete the signing of Real Madrid midfielder Isco in the January transfer window.
That's been circulating for at least 2 years now, isn't it?
I reckon.
Yeah, even longer than that. Yeah, exactly. Like,
he is one of these players that we can never seem to get rid of the links with. Have you seen these links for Raheem Sterling?
Yeah, I think they're over-exagged, to be fair.
If we get Champions League football, is that a possibility? I'm going to presume that it's not, unless we do.
Yeah, it has to be a possibility if we get Champions League football. I mean, we can't discredit Arsenal for who we are. Like, obviously, Sterling knows that we're a big club, been one of the biggest clubs for quite some time. But if we get into the Champions League, that could just give Sterling that extra bit of oomph to say, you know what, actually, let me go there, let me help with this rebuild. I mean, he's got a relationship with Mikel Arteta as well, so that could be a little push over the edge, you know. But currently, over-exaggerate. I don't think Sterling's on the cards at all.
What is on the cards then? What exactly do Arsenal need to get done in the January transfer window?
For me, a new winger.
Is that Pepe? To cancel out Pepe?
Not even to cancel out Pepe. I just think we just need a winger in general. I think even last year was saying we need a winger. People were saying, no, we got Reece Nelson. And I was like,
Reece. He could come back, can't he?
He could come back. But he's been injured, isn't he? It's just the same. It's gone through the same process he has. He hasn't really improved.
He's lost a year. I reckon that's to do with Willian, though. He's been forced out because they bought Willian. You've got Pepe and Saka was there. They're not getting a game, bro.
And then ESR was probably being looked at that point as well. Do you know what I mean? But now I think we need to bring in a winger. A winger is so important. Someone that can drive at players, that can score goals as well, set goals up. We need someone. And I think that person needs to be a bit experienced. They need to be 25, 26. I got a feeling that they're going to continue with Project Youth and look at young players that were being linked with that striker from Romania, Stoica. He's 18 years old, but when I'm reading between the lines, I'm thinking, you know what, I don't think this is a player that's going to come in and be an instant impact now. This is someone they want to bring in and develop. Do you know what I mean? Go join the under-23s and so on and so forth. But then saying that, under-23s, we've got players there that are young, 17, 18, 19, that could step up and fill those gaps that we need. Fill those holes, like Amari Hutchison, for example. The guy's 18 years old. He's incredible.
He's super talented.
The only thing I'm worried about with him is his physicality. He looks a bit small, bit dainty. But given the experience of the first team, I think he's going to blow.
He's also got what they're going to love, which is like the story.
Yeah.
Like, imagine the social media content they'll be able to produce for that guy. His rise to stardom after, you know. He's on YouTube as a little like 4-inch child. Do you know what I mean?
Did you see him? Have you seen that compilation of him doing the step overs and all the skills and tricks? I think it was published on Twitter the other day. The guy is really skillful. His ball control.
Oh, yeah. He got. I mean, the first time I heard of him, he must have been like 7.
Yeah.
Doing a video with the F2 freestylers.
Yeah.
Going viral on Instagram.
Oh man.
So
the skills are
it is all
this world.
Been sort of written that he was going to end up in a position like this, and yeah, he looks to be coming on leaps and bounds. Again, there are a lot of players who I've sort of thought were ready, but they're quite clearly not. One of those is following Balogun.
Oh, I was thinking about him.
It seems to have just gone missing off the map since his chance at the beginning of the season.
It's really weird, to be fair, because I think that chance at the beginning of the season wasn't kind of given to him out of the fact that he's been working hard and he's been playing well. I just think that, and this is not a fact, but this is my opinion, there was a rift between Arteta, Lacazette and Aubameyang. But there was an argument behind the scenes, and Arteta just had a last-minute choice to make, and it was like, all right, cool, Usman have got to sit out because I just didn't like the way Usman spoke to me or whatever happened. And Balogun, you're the only one available to step up into this position.
There was definitely something more to that. Even if it was just Aubameyang and Lacazette had been out, for too long, or been late to training, he definitely put his foot down there.
Yeah, 100%.
But it felt like Balogun's brother sort of did him out of the chance by saying, I don't know about these Arteta tactics.
Yeah, the system. He was blaming the system.
Genuinely, the only time I've seen Balogun since is in pictures in training and in the background.
But then we can't really question that because it's like, what have our strikers done? None of our strikers have performed. Lacazette, all right, come on and saved our day against Crystal Palace. But other than that, what have you done, Lax? Aubameyang, like, what has Aubameyang done, which we've already discussed? Like, the strikers have gone non-existent. So therefore, if those strikers are non-existent, why is Balogun not going to be non-existent as well? So there could be something with the system that's not utilising the strikers for who they are.
Does he need a loan?
If I am to be real, I don't think he does need a loan, but based on what's going on in reality, yeah, he does need a loan, because it's like, well, Mikel Arteta is not going to give you a chance. You're clearly too good for the under-23s, and one thing that I want to see Balogun do is play with experienced and more mature players.
Aubameyang?
No, Balogun. I want to see him play with experienced and more mature players, so we can.
There's been other clubs that have come in for him.
Yeah,
I know Sheffield United were interested in him last year.
Yeah,
and Brentford as well were chasing him.
Yeah,
I think they put in a couple of decent bids,
and they said no. Yeah,
and they've said no, and he's really kind of, to me, it's another waste of a year. It's like Reece Nelson, he might be injured, but at least he's, had the opportunity to get some extra game time, experience under your belt.
Again, playing with experienced men. It's like, that's what he needs, man. When you're playing with the under-23s, you're roughly playing with people your age. You might get the 1 or 2 odd people that are trying to build up fitness for their first teams that are like maybe 28, 29 in there. But you're playing against 17, 18-year-olds majority of the time.
And his stats are fake when he's playing against that level of player.
15 goals in 10 games.
Clearly superior to them.
100%. And he's only 20 years old as well. So it's not like he's still young. I think the reality of the matter is that he needs to go out on loan so he can get that experience and prove to Arteta that regardless of the age group, I'm a guy. I will score goals regardless. Do you know what I mean? And that's what Arteta wants to see. I think that's what he wants to see, and that's inevitable for Balogun.
Okay, well, unfortunately, we do have to touch upon the Liverpool defeat. I wanted to save this to last. It's been so much good stuff and positivity and us just being so high in the table that I've almost deleted it from my memory already. But we got battered. It was embarrassing, really. The first half was... Well, tell me how you saw it.
Well, for the first half, I feel like we were kind of in the game for about 20 minutes. But the reason we was in the game is because Liverpool were still in first gear. They stayed in first gear. I think Klopp kind of was a bit wary because we were just on a 10-game unbeaten run, and he wanted to see how Arsenal would come out and play. He wanted to see our patterns. He wanted to see how we would move, how we would press, etc. He just wanted to kind of test the waters, so to speak, for maybe 25 minutes, see how Arsenal would play, and then we can play the way we actually want to play, and that's exactly what they've done after that. I think the beef that they had.
You think that was what kicked it off?
Oh, Klopp was like, yeah, all right, cool, guys.
Yeah. Honestly, man, when I saw Arteta going crazy, I thought, wow, he's really overreacting.
Yeah, me too.
But then on the flip side, I was like, oh, go on then. Go on, fucking good. Go on.
Yeah, love the passion.
Klopp's a wind-up merchant.
Yeah.
He really does get under people's skin. He's almost an expert in doing that. And then pretending like he doesn't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But it is quite clear that whatever Arteta did totally motivated Liverpool.
Yeah, 100%.
Almost motivated the fucking stadium.
That's what I had to say. It motivated those fans.
Right.
And that's exactly what Klopp wanted, man.
And from that moment, we were battered. Like, they were first at every ball, stronger in the challenge. Like, the passing's more accurate.
Yeah.
Beautiful patterns. Like, I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, what did we do?
Yeah.
Arteta, that's your L.
Yeah.
You should have just held that one down.
It was a big L, boy.
We were doing okay until you opened up.
I know. It's so weird because I loved the passion. I loved how he responded, but I felt like it was just a bit over-exag.
Yeah, it was.
It was over-exag, wasn't it? Because even if you look back at what happened with, I think it was Tomiyasu and Mane.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It was that, isn't it? Like, there was nothing really in it.
The thing is, he would have been holding on to the challenge that Mane put on Tierney last season.
Okay, and then he's thinking, oh, that's how...
Honestly, I can remember that vividly. I thought, wow, that's a straight red. They didn't even give me yellow.
Yeah, I remember.
In the head.
Yeah.
Disrespectful.
And it was a similar type of...
It was the same thing. Mane throws his weight around.
He does.
Same way that...
He's a beast, man.
You know, Kane's got that thing where he pushes his back into you and then he falls over and it's your fault. And you're like, what? I didn't even...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Giving it. Mane's getting away with a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Arteta's, he's spoken up, but he went over the top.
Well, over the top. I think it's you're definitely right with that Mane. I think it's not just even with the Tierney. I think Arteta's realised that Mane's doing it in every single game. Right. It's like, so the moment that happened, it was like, are you mad? You're still doing it, and you're getting away with it. Like, no. Actually, you're taking do you know what I mean? And he went in. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But if you actually go back and watch the replay, there wasn't much in it. Like, it looked like from a certain angle, it might have looked like he tried to elbow him. But if you actually look at it correctly from the right angle, you will see that they just both jumped for the ball and whatever happened. But you're definitely right. Mikel Arteta was holding a grudge from the Tierney situation, as well as analysing the fact that Mane's been doing it frequently throughout his Liverpool career. So it was like, yeah, he's not just taking the absolute piss.
It was quite clear to me when I watched Man City that in terms of the style of play, I prefer it. I still see them as a couple of steps ahead of Chelsea. And that is no shade on Chelsea, really, if only because it's actually amazing that Tuchel's been able to put them, bang, you're in the conversation, just like that.
Just
when
like
they were basically like 8th under Lampard.
Yeah.
But with...
just goes to show you that Tuchel is a really good manager, isn't it?
He is a really good manager, but honestly, I think Klopp's even better.
Yeah. I think the German managers are sick.
It's very easy to make comparisons where it's not really fair to. And obviously, Klopp's record speaks for itself.
Yeah, 100.
But honestly, man, the way that Chelsea are sort of stifled sometimes in being able to respond. We saw it against Man United. Gone 1-0 down. And I just thought when they went 1-0 down, do they have what it takes to get 2 goals? Maybe the one, but 2 goals? I've got no confidence whatsoever. With Liverpool, I genuinely thought they might get 5, 6, 7 here.
Yeah.
Like, they are fucking pissed off.
If it wasn't for Ramsdale, it would have probably been 8. And Ramsdale was just... He's just doing so well right now, Ramsdale, man. It's like he loves being at Arsenal. You can see it. Like, this is a dream come true for him. Do you know what I mean?
Player of the month.
Yep.
Probably player of the season so far.
Yep. Him and Tomiyasu. I think Tomiyasu has been very consistent.
Okay,
it was only that Liverpool game where he was kind of thrown off. But other than that, if you actually look at Tomiyasu, he's been... I think him and Ramsdale have been neck and neck. What's made Ramsdale look better is the saves that he's pulled off and kept us in the game. He's just
They're
been
camera-worthy saves.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of people say it's for the documentary, but I'm like, nah, it's not for the documentary.
They all know, man. Listen, if ever there was a season as an Arsenal player to be on your top behaviour, top form, and just giving out the best energy of yourself, the best version of yourself, it's now. Bro.
Yeah, 100%.
Cameras are on 24/7.
Yeah. Mikel Arteta come out the other day and they asked him in a press conference, how did your players react? He said there was a few players that was really frustrated and upset, and they kind of demonstrated that in the changing rooms. That was Aaron Ramsdale.
Okay, yeah.
That was Aaron Ramsdale. He's that guy now. He's not having it. You can see it on a pitch.
That's
if you make a mistake on the pitch, but he's onto you. Like, he's on you. He's pointing fingers. He's doing the eye stuff. Like, this again resembles the young Peter Schmeichel, guys.
Okay, well, look, let's wrap things up with a quiz question.
Go on.
Has an Arsenal player ever won the Ballon d'Or?
No.
Correct. Bang on the money. I guess
should have been Henry, man. He should have got it.
It should have been Henry.
Yeah.
2003.
Yeah, should have been him, man. The stats speak for themselves. But as we were discussing off camera, it's about what you're doing with your team. The criteria is winning cups.
Okay, like that season, 2003, 32 goals and 30 assists. When Nedved got something like 17 and 15 or 17 and 12 or something like that. However, the reason I ask this question is because I just want to know whether you think that any of the current Arsenal squad have the ability to go on and win a Ballon d'Or.
Any current squad now? Not at this moment. Not in the next couple of years. No. Okay. I mean, there's potential. Like Saka's, Smith Rowe.
Saka the closest thing that we've got.
You know, Ramsdale, if he continues playing the way he's playing, like, these are people maybe in the next 4 years, 5 years possibly, that could be in with a shout, but not anytime soon.
That's not particularly important. Let's just maybe curtail the expectations a bit from Ballon d'Or to who could be potential England internationals or future internationals. I'm looking around the squad. Smith Rowe, Saka, Ramsdale.
They're already in there. White as well, yeah.
Dons could actually make up
the England team.
Quite a large part of the England team.
Yeah, 100%.
Going forward, is it possible that
what about Rob
we
Holding?
are already beginning to see the start of an Arsenal who could well be a really good team in a couple of years?
Yeah, we've got the core. We've got the core there. The core is there.
Like, if you replace Aubameyang with a top striker,
Vlahovic
Pepe with a top winger,
yeah,
maybe one midfielder to get rid of Xhaka,
yeah,
we're in the conversation now, bro.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Or at least we're starting to knock on the door.
The players are good. The one thing we have to question is just that style moving into those attacking final thirds. Okay. That's what's letting the team down. I actually done a tactical breakdown the other day, and I think we need one of those central midfielders, and I would rather it be not Thomas Partey, because I think Thomas Partey is better defensively and in the transition, but when he gets further forward, it's not as great. It's balls all over the place. Do you know what I mean? But we need, like, if we take ourselves back to Arsene Wenger, for example, we had Coquelin and Cazorla for a period of time. Cazorla, yeah, he was done a defensive job at certain moments, but he was forward. Yeah. He connected with Ozil, Sanchez. He was in that. We don't have that with Lokonga and Thomas Partey. They're just feeding balls from the halfway line. We need Lokonga to move forward and support what's happening in that attacking final third. If we've got a central midfielder that can do that, be more of a box to box, I think that makes a mad difference to how we attack.
Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. We've got a big game against Manchester United coming up. Yeah. Predictions down below as well. What do you reckon, man?
I'm going to go with a draw.
Draw? That would be a good result.
Yeah.
As long as, I think it's just a must not lose.
Yeah.
If we can maintain the distance between the two of us, I'm satisfied with that.
Yeah, 100%.
As I say, anyway, let us know your thoughts. We'll be back. Same time, same place next week. You good for next week?
Yeah.
Same time, same place next week. For now, please do check Wax's links in the description box below. Make sure you subscribe to his channel.
Come on.
He is there on a regular basis with that Arsenal goodness. And for now, though, we've been
the Arsenal Agenda.